Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McSham with you here, and I promised you I was going to try and find some other solutions to the problems we've been having lately here on the channel. I'm trying to narrow things down. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, so I'm not looking to get rid of Windows yet. I want to make sure that is 100% the problem. So instead, we're not running OBS today for the first time ever. We're coming to you from Meld Studios. They've got pretty good reviews, and I've been messing with it for the last hour and a half or so. I've kind of got it set up to do this one stream, and we'll see how it goes. So for you guys that are out there in the chat, let me know how everything sounds, how it looks as things go on, and I want to go for a while here and see if the damn thing freezes up the computer again. If it does, then we know 120% it is Microsoft, and then it's time to switch operating systems. But if I can go a couple hours without a problem, then maybe it was OBS. We'll find out together. All right, Andrew Roberts in the house. Prime Time is here. Big JH is here as well. I don't have any of my little bumper sound effects or anything like that yet. I literally just put in enough to get this stream going. Let me tell you early on what I like about Meld so far. As you can see right there with my 2K screen up on the side, it gives you these cool options of different effects and things you can do with it. I'm enjoying that very much. I'm not sure if that music was too loud or not. My bad if it was. Again, I'm learning as we go here. So it's got these cool little effects and stuff that OBS doesn't offer. If it does, maybe I just never noticed them, but it's very simple to find it on here, so we'll go with that. That said, the layout is not one that I'm really thrilled about. If you're not familiar, I'll run it down for you. With OBS, it was like you had your own production studio, like a TV studio. On your left side, you had what you were going to transition to next. So basically, it was all the stuff that you were going to let the viewers see, but not yet. And on the right side is what's going out to the stream currently. So you could see before you transition. With this one, you only have the one screen, and that's the active screen. Everything else that you do to set up the next scene, you hope everything is the way you want it, and you hope you clicked all the right buttons because there's no preview. Okay, at least not that I'm seeing yet, and I've watched a couple of videos, and they sure as heck didn't have one there. That's a big one there. I would love to see them get to that point, and they probably will down the line. It's a free product out there, so you can't say too much about it. That's the only negative I found so far. Other than that, I'm really enjoying the little bit that I've messed with this so far. I'm enjoying it. Sounded like you said MILF Studios. No, man. Not yet, anyway. I mean, hey, you never know. Maybe we could do that. We could do that if we want. Speaking of which, I got the rest of my deck isn't loaded up yet. I did a video a couple days ago or yesterday. Yeah, probably yesterday, regarding 2K and why are things different than every other year. It's like the things that weren't a problem before are a problem now all of a sudden. And I'm just trying to figure out what's up with that, man. Why y'all got problems like that? I don't know. This also has some really cool transition options, which we're about to see right now. I wish I had a sound effect to go with it, but I don't at the moment. But imagine, like, Wayne's World. And there we go. Boom. And there's a bunch of other little things you can make it do. It'll do tricks like Vince McMahon's ass. And then I've got something going on here. Let me see if I can isolate this thing for a moment. I'm not sure how this works exactly, but I believe... Hey, Jay, what's up, man? I believe this little gray box over here on the side is supposed to interact with, like, as people are chatting or whatever, it's supposed to kind of be a meter that fills up or something like that. And audio track. I'm not sure, but I am not certain about that. So let me see if I can locate the individual frame. Okay, we're there. Yeah, it should be this. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't seem like that's what's happening, though, so I think I'm going to just remove that for now and do a little more research later. It may only be like, it doesn't make sense to me that it would be for subs only. All right, so that's gone now, that little gray box. I'll have to figure that out over time. Basically, we're actually going to show you a demo of what it's supposed to do. Here we go. And then let's go back here. Somewhere here. Share, publish. Audio track. Oh, you can add an audio track. Name. Well, there was an option here I saw earlier. Visual camera, widget, transition. Maybe that's only when you're not streaming. Share widget link. Add an additional soundtrack. Widget intro, reset. Background. It may have only been, oh wait, preview event, way on the bottom. There you go. So the logic is that the bar will fill up as the audience is interacting, but it is kind of not specific, and then you can change this and move it around wherever you want to, and got it going on behind there, so we can even stick it over to the side a little bit more and go like that. But I haven't quite figured out that you guys are doing a great job in the chat, and nothing is coming up here, so it's not interacting with the chat. I got to do some more homework. I can lock that over there and figure out what that thing's all about. So for now, because it's not doing what I thought it was going to do, we'll just make it go away. I know it works on things like super chats and all that, but I'm not doing super chats. And I would think they would have something that's interactive. But if there is, I'm not finding it at the moment. What else? There should be a setting here somewhere. Is this it? Yeah, bam. Oh, that's nice. That's kind of nice. I can actually start to follow the chat as well because it is on the same exact screen. Which, again, this is something OBS never has done yet. So there's certain things that these guys are killing it on, and other things, not so much. And they're all color coordinated, which is different. So, like, if I look at the actual stream comments, it's all pretty much black and white except for Big JH and J-Rocks, who are, of course, mods. But over here, everyone's got their own color. So let's say I was looking for a comment that was made earlier by Primetime. He's right now in teal on my screen. So I can just look for anything teal, and that's going to be Primetime Miracle right now. You're orange at the moment. This is going to be like freaking Reservoir Dogs. We got Mr. Orange and Mr. Teal, and, you know, we'll go rob a bank later, I guess. All right. So that's what we're doing right now, and I'm going to go for a while here and see if the system freezes up, and if it doesn't freeze up and we go a while, then I'm going to start to think that it's time to switch out of OBS. And if it does freeze up, then I'm really screwed because then I got to move to a whole new operating system. And that's going to be a lot of fun, I can tell you right now. Okay, back to the game. I posted a video yesterday showing that 2K did 2K stuff. So I'm going to show you what I showed you in the video, and then I'm going to show you the fix, if you want to call it a fix. It's just more 2K being 2K. So if we go here and have us a match, in particular with Hulk Hogan, and we're going to go to the old school Hulk Hogan here, and I always like the WrestleMania 5 one. That's kind of the look that I kind of associate him with from back in the day. And then no matter who, we give him a mystery partner because we're not going to actually have the match. I'm assuming I still have the title on him. This is on my main account versus the second account that I can actually use DLCs on, not DLCs, but community creations on. So hopefully he comes out. Yeah, he's got a belt on, so you want to take a look at the belts. Look at that. Clipping like a motherfucker. Look how that thing is bent in the front plate. And that just looks like total dog shit. Absolute shit. Look at that. So I'm over here thinking I'm going to start bringing my Saturday show over to 26, and the first thing I see is my champion looks like shit. Now, this problem existed in the past, and normally on the larger wrestlers. Now, Hogan's a big guy, but it's not like he's fat large. You know, it used to be a thing with guys like Vader, and it would clip in, and it would clip in with guys like Andre and what have you. So I tested it by putting it on Dusty and in the same belt, put it on Dusty, put it on Andre. Guess what? No clipping issues. So it's like a Hogan exclusive, but wait, there's more. Because it is 2K, and it wouldn't be 2K unless there was more. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to have another match, only this time. And it doesn't matter the arena, and it doesn't matter which belt. We're going to go to Hulk Hogan again, only same model, only we're just going to do a different attire. There's 3 attires, 1, 2, and 3. If you pick any of the other 2, you get a different result. How's that for shit? It's the same damn model. It's just an alt attire that they put in the game. It's not like you did an alt attire and it's not cooperating with it. Now take a look at this. Holy shit, it fits like a charm. You can't write this. 2K, how can you be this stupid? And it still has that wicked bend in the middle of it I hadn't noticed before, but it's fitting. It's not clipping in. Tiny, tiny bit in the back, but that's to be expected. And quite honestly, in real life, you know, as that thing is strapped around you, little bits of body fat are going to go over the top of it. But it's not all clipping out, and it's the same damn dude. It's just, so 2 out of 3 will work. It's just the one that I want to use that it won't work. I look at it this way. I used that one almost all of last season, so maybe, all right, I'll switch it to the red shirt. And I'm not even sure what the first attire is. I haven't tried it in a while. But it did work without clipping on the belt. Anybody got an idea as to how that happens? Because I don't. That's 2K at their finest. Oh, my goodness me, oh, my. Brian Williams not doing any interviews, you say? Huh, I wonder why. He must be a busy guy. He must be busy. Keith O'Toole's in the house. Welcome aboard. WrestleMania was really good. Can't wait for the real thing in a few weeks. Thank you very much for watching it. Thank you for the feedback, and I hope they can do something that's entertaining. I did a last-minute, unexpected Wrestle Chat this morning, if you have a chance to catch that. The big news breaking that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are leaving the WWE following WrestleMania. Yeah, if I were him, I would not only not be doing any interviews, but I would probably be, like, changing my address and maybe getting some cosmetic surgery to disguise my face. I would just be in hiding for a while. Maybe get with the feds and see what you can do for witness protection. All right, so anyway, that's the one thing I definitely wanted to show you guys to kick things off here. I think we're going to throw a card together here in a second, but let me just catch up with you guys. I'm so used to looking at this screen, which is the YouTube screen, and I want to try and get used to looking at this screen, which is the one that's got everybody nicely color-coded. Look at this. Oh, I'm loving that. It's also bigger font. Not much bigger, but bigger. And at my age, bigger is better. Oh, my goodness.
That's what she said.
Forgot to turn the volume on. Where are we at here? Yeah, he's going to stay quiet. I guarantee you that. Brian Mazik needs to stay quiet. Dumb fuck. Miracle, at this point, I'm probably going to keep it only because of the extra features and to try and keep on doing it, knowing that I'm losing the extra stuff that's in this game. I mean, am I going to run an Inferno match? Maybe once. I mean, it's like the war games. I might do 2 or 3 of those a year, in a whole year. Inferno, probably going to be less, maybe once, twice at the most. It's just not, those aren't things I'm going to take advantage of. The promo stuff was intriguing to me, although it's really not that much. You only have one Champions promo. And then you've got that post-match one, which is kind of goofy. I'm not sure. I haven't tried the 3 options yet. So maybe the other options give you a better cutscene or something like that. But either way, when was the last time you saw somebody have a wrestling match, come out of the ring, and Kathy Kelly interviews them right there in the ramp? I'll go first. Never. Why couldn't they have had a backstage promo? How hard could it possibly be, guys? You did all the hard work. Not only a backstage promo, but then you got the backstage promo, and then maybe somebody comes from outside the screen and just jumps and beats the shit out of them in the middle of the promo, or maybe there's a face-off in the promo. I don't get it. That seems to me like a laydown. But it's 2K, so yeah, 2K25 right now. 2K24 is doing better than 26, and they're dead. Servers are officially gone. Bye-bye. So I did go back, and I managed to get that Kimono Wanalea from an ECW lineup, and that was well done, man. Whoever made that, I wish I could remember right now. Oh, shit. It's one of the big names. It's a recognizable name. Really good job. If you go back to that stream that we did a couple days ago, I actually call the guy out while we're pulling it up there. So, yeah, the belt's been banged around in the luggage quite a bit, JH. You're right about that. Yeah, 19 was a good title. 19 was good. I got to go back to that eventually and just take a... That's the one that had the nice desktop, which was mostly white, and then the characters would come across, and then the color would bleed in. And I thought that was one of the better backgrounds that they've ever done, to be honest. No, it's not a custom. That's the whole thing. It's in... So originally, I had put a custom title on it. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, shit. And I thought that's what it was, custom belts. So then I went and I said, all right, we'll go back with the big green because that's the title he just won, right? And then I saw that, and I'm like, of course, it's 2K. Why was I thinking it? It's a weird thing that I even thought about trying the other attires, and only probably because I tried Dusty and Andre, and it didn't clip. So that may have made me think, and I probably did the other Hogan too, which I don't want to use. That's like WCW Hogan. So I didn't want to go that route. If I had to go that bad, then shit, I might have took the belt off him. But no, that's an in-game. It's all in-game. Everything that you just saw. Freaky, indeed. It was an April Fool's joke. I miss messing with you. They got me this morning pretty close. I was like, holy shit. And right before I went on and put the video out, I said, well, let's just verify a couple of facts here because we're all just going off friggin' Twitter, and you know that. And, yeah, and even in the Twitter thing, but who reads it, right? You read through the whole article, and then on the bottom it says source with the semicolon, and then it says April Fool's on it. But didn't look at that. You skim over the source. You just want to see the article. But as I said in the stream this morning, is like the reason it's so easy to believe it, not even think about April 1st, is we kind of want it to be true, don't we? That somebody, anybody else at this point in time is going to come in and take over because it's so bad. Infrared, my brother from another mother. Today, you are Mr. Green. I was just explaining to the group, I'm running a different software today to see if it crashes the computer or not, and if that's my issue or if it's Windows itself. This is the Meld, M-E-L-D, Meld Studio software. And one of the cool things about it is the chat is on the screen with the stuff I'm working off of. So I don't have to look back and forth, although by habit I tend to, so I'm going to have to focus on this more. But what I love about looking at the chat on the Meld versus the YouTube is each one of you gets your own color. You don't see that on the YouTube chat, obviously, but I see it over here. And if I'm looking to catch up with a certain person's comments, or maybe they said something earlier in the stream that I need to refer back to, now I just look for green, and there's going to be infrared. Should be able to do a promo anywhere. The technology, yeah. I mean, prime time. There's no reason not to be able to do it. Well, there is. It's 2K. That's your reason. So, all right. That said, we are on the main account, which is kind of loosey goosey at the moment because I haven't wanted to do anything really detailed setup wise because it's this shit. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with a patch, and all of a sudden your tag teams are gone. Is what it is. All right, let's mess around with the XWF. We'll load that in. I think it's the only thing on the card, right? Yeah, they've got their own universe for the moment anyway. Might add something later on. I don't know about that. Vince Russo. Let's say it again. Something crazy. Vince Russo writing JCW. He's like writing is in the head writer for JCW? Didn't Tony Khan just suck his dick recently, too? Gave him a hand job or something like that the other day. Talking about him like he's the greatest thing on the face of the earth. So, yeah, here's the thing. If I go to watch show, then I can't control the choices made in the promos. And I want to check out these promos a little bit more. So, let's go here. I don't like having the music playing while I'm setting the card up. I don't mind it playing in the very beginning when the show's loading in. But I find it kind of annoying playing here. All right, let's go and do this. Promo. Post-match interview. Tell you what, let's go this way. Promo, post-match interview, promo interrupt, self-promo. I believe she has the belt. No, wait, she probably doesn't have the belt. Hold that thought a minute. Trying to remember who has the women's title, or if I even made the women's title yet. I don't think I made the women's title yet. All right, let's back out of that. Who for sure? I gotta go see who my champions are. I haven't completely set this thing up yet, and I definitely want to see what the. Oh yeah, of course, Orndorff's got the title because he put Hogan out. AJ 16 is our hardcore champion, and then they got the tag team titles, and he's got the cruiserweight, and that's it. So we haven't even done a women's title yet. Custom championship. So I got to make a women's championship at some point in time. Any 2K news today? Nah, brother. A few minutes ago, I went into a deeper dive on the video I put out yesterday morning regarding the 2K25 versus 2K26, where you saw Hulk Hogan doing his entrance. And some people may have caught it, some people may not have, but the belt was clipping into him in 26 really, really badly. So, yeah, we just, at the beginning of the stream, I showed you that again. But if you choose one of the other 3 attires for that Hulk Hogan, then it doesn't clip. Only on attire number 2, which is the one that I most wanted to use. So that's the one where he's all in yellow shirt, yellow trunks, and all that stuff. But if you go to the 3rd one, which he has the red shirt, and I forget what the first one is off the top of my head, but either of those 2, you won't have the belt clipping. Just that one. Considering it's all the same model, look, I don't write code. I'm not going to pretend to know. It's 2K. That's the best I got for you. So that's the news of the day. Jay had something he discovered that right now, since the patch, if I were to make my own arena right now, and let's say I put the XWF logo down in the middle of the ring and I needed to make it bigger or smaller, can't do that. Whatever size it is, that's it. Default size. The workaround is, let's say I already have an arena where I've enlarged a logo. I can duplicate that. I can go into that one and then just change out the logo that's already been stretched out with the one I want in there. But you can't adjust it. You know, once it's there, that's it. Like if you say it's a little too big, I want it just a little smaller. The minute you do that, you're back to default sizes. So that's the temporary workaround until the next patch comes out, where they'll fix that and they'll break 3 other things. They'll fix that, and then none of Hulk Hogan's attires will work with the belt. Yeah, Jay, I beat you to the punch, but honestly, you want to type all that out? That's a lot of typing, boys and girls. I am really liking this Meld. Again, it's going to be the fact that I can't preview, that I'm already thinking to myself how that's going to look in the long term. We'll see. I like the blends and all, and I can definitely change a transition because I'd have to. You know, I can't do this kind of transition for a show because there's a lot of stuff where I have a scene that clips in and things like that, and that would be so obvious. But I can do a hard transfer. I just wanted to see. I like this effect works for me on this one. I just feel like my studio is going to get really cluttered this way, but we'll see. I can't even do that and create an arena mode? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't do? You can't do what and create an arena mode? I mean, you can't do the enlarging and stuff like that now, but you should. Again, if you've got something previously there, then you should be okay. All right. So we're going to cut a promo. We're going to test something here. All right. Here's what we're going to do. There's the damn music again. Customize the participants first. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. So we're going to have our world champion coming out here, Mr. Perfect, or Mr. Wonderful, sorry. Confirm that, and then yes, we will go with Mr. Perfect. And then we will go here. There's a reason I'm doing it in the first match of the show. Issue open challenge, post-match interview. Man, there's so much potential there that was left on the table. If they break into a fight here at the end, or even because it's the end of the match, maybe Orndorff's already been busted open, and he's going to have another match later on in the night, and that damage carries over. So he could start the match off already bleeding, which it's kind of a cool effect. And one of the things I've noticed in the past, and hopefully they didn't screw this up, is that let's say you have a bloodbath in the first or second match of the night and it's all over the ring apron. They'll clean up all the chairs, tables, or whatever, but then the blood stains remain throughout the night. And that's not even authentic because WWE and TNA and most of the bigger companies, they have multiple layers of canvas. And if there is a scenario where there's a lot of blood in the match or whatever, as soon as the match is over, they pull that top canvas off, they roll it up, and they get it the hell out of there, and then you got a fresh canvas below it. But for our intents and purposes, it's pretty cool. And for the time frame I'm doing, I don't think they were doing that yet. Women are getting kicked to the curb here in this one, but I need to see some stuff. Customized participants. You know what I wonder? Can I start by controlling the show and then turn it over to watch afterwards, or do you have to go into watch mode at the beginning? We'll find that out too. Customize the match. Yeah, so basically whoever wins this match is going to want to have a rematch later tonight. That's the thing we're operating on here with this one. Oops, not too much. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Back to the misters. Mr. Wonderful, confirm. Because really, all I want to do is control the interview segment, and after that, I'd like to let it take over itself. I also want to see if we can get the referee to do the run-in, or if they actually fixed that. Save that one. Come back here. Ringside post-match brawl. That's probably the one I used last time where the referee attacked. So Orndorff will have a match in the meantime with whom? Yeah. We'll give him an easy night. Damn. Orndorff getting booked. Let's make a tag team match here. Choose. Okay, go Mr. Gunn. And his tag team buddy there going up against what the hell? We'll go with 3 minute. 3 minute warning. Make it a non-title match for now since I'm not ready to actually do anything yet. At least Santana and Regal, that's a good match there. And they're in a rivalry? Okay. Post-match interview. Another post-match interview, but we'll take it. Will give us an opportunity to choose more than one option. What in the heck is that? Triple threat tornado tag. Yeah, but no. Let's make this a simple one. We'll get our AJ out there. And we'll give him one of the jobbers here. I gotta find them. I forget the names are under. Oh, sorry, Nick. You looked like a jobber for a minute there. Where are my jobbers at? Oh, shit. Did I not put them in? I'm going to have to go back and check that. I may not have added them. What's the next best thing? 83. All right, D-Lo, you going to have... Well, let me see. I got to have somebody lower than... Yeah, there we go. 74. Now watch, he wins. Infrared, are you playing on PC or are you on a console? And if so, which one? All right, so we got Doink and AJ going there, and that's there. All right, so we will save that. So here comes my question. Yeah, down below it says watch or start show. So what I'm wondering is, can I start by doing this, and then after this match, can I switch over to it? So we'll find that out in a minute. And I'm going to actually have to play it because I want to select. Now the question is, who's selecting? Is it the person who's being interviewed that gets somewhat challenged? I'm going to presume. I don't know. We'll know for the second time around. Sean is Mr. Pink. Have you thought about moving to mods? Sure, man. How are you going to do that on PlayStation, though? It was nice when the gaming community was all unified, but that ain't happening no more. I want to see something else now that they've updated things like that. XWF logo. Yeah, it's looking better, I think. It was looking very... It didn't match. It didn't have the same metal look to it that it normally does in all the past games. Some clipping going on there, but he's wearing the robe, and that kind of happened even last year. Anytime they're wearing robes and stuff like that, it's a crapshoot. That is the new championship I'm going with for XWF this year. I did keep a lot of the similar style as last year. Last year, I think it was off the Intercontinental belt, though. Or actually, I take it back. Yeah, no, I did do one that was almost exactly the same as last year's, but then I went with this instead. I still like the 3 separate center plates and kind of kept that idea. Infrared, you're on a PS5, so am I. So Jay's on a PC, and that might be the difference. I haven't tried it yet. Actually, when this show is done here, I'll jump over and try it. It might be PC only that's an option for. Well, Sean, I'm on a PS5, so the PC mod thing doesn't apply to me. Orndorff definitely should have had gold. I mean, he never held gold in the WWF, did he? He didn't have anything. He never won the Intercontinental. Never got tag team. He won several titles in the WCW, but yeah, you're right. I mean, his prime was in the WWF. They definitely should have at least given him the Intercontinental. And we all know they were testing him out for the world title there when they knew Hogan might need time off. And there was a period where he was the headline event at MSG, even without the belt, him and Piper after the fallout at WrestleMania. All right. Because this is a test, I'm going to try and make this a quick match. So we're not going to be looking to make these the most entertaining matches as much as just trying to see how things work after the patch. And in some cases, the most I've had a chance to actually try playing the game because I've been so busy unlocking shit. Even today, I spent a lot of time again playing the showcase on my second account to try and unlock the stuff that I've already unlocked on my main account, but I can't do any community creations on. Back elbow right to the face. Ooh, swing and a miss, nobody home. Get off me, bitch. Ref, get him off me. He's choking. You missed me, bitch. Grab the tights. Ah. The power on display. Apparently they've toughened up the referees a little bit too, where they can take a bump or two before they disqualify you, which is probably good, because I thought about it more playing the showcase mode. So many times where they just got themselves in the way, like I'm coming off the top rope with a cross body that's mandatory, and all of a sudden the referee comes out there and gets caught with it. Orndorff's hair is a lot more flippy-floppy than it was last year. And it was never that way in real life. I don't know if it was product that he put in there or what the deal was, but his hair wasn't like blowing in the breeze. You know, when I was uploading those old videos from the first channel with the 2K, or not 2K, but the SmackDown versus Raw 07 and 08 stuff, there was one season in particular with the XCW, and it was the first year, and you could see it because it kind of bled over from one game to the next. I kept it going, and you could tell when the game changed, because all of a sudden the ropes were given freedom to move, and they just exaggerated the hell out of it. It was like a wave on the ocean. You'd hit the ropes and they would just wiggle for 5 minutes. And that's the way I feel about the hair of Orndorff. It's like, okay, you gave it a little bit of life and all that, but you don't got to overdo it. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Bad day for the Perfect. Ooh. Perfectly knocked out. That face says it all. That's the move that put Hulk Hogan out of action. The PS6? Did they really debut one? There's no way. No way. They've talked about a PS6 being $1,000 at launch. This is why I'm kind of checking out at this point. All right, let's see what happens with our interviews. Kathy Kelly, you just interrupted my song. I want and I expect more of the same. I got my sights on a new championship. I'm the world champion. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be the champion for a long time to come. Oh, he rants on for a little while, don't he? What? That's it? No confrontation. Huh. That's interesting. And I forgot to let it, I was going to let him do some damage to me. All right. So we can go right to next match. Or exit. Exit. Oh, yeah, you can go to watch mode from here. But then, if I want to do the promo spot, can I back out of it? We'll find out. Ah, you were getting me with an April Fool, weren't you? I see what you're doing there, buddy. I see you.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from parts unknown. Weighing in.
Yeah, Mid-South was a hotbed, man. You had JYD, you had Dr. Death Steve Williams, Terry Gordy, Magnum TA, Orndorff. I mean, it was just... And I wasn't even aware of it back then because, you know, all we had was wrestling magazines to look at. There was no international cable and stuff like we have today. There's certainly no internet. I still remember the Pro Wrestling Illustrated that had the cover for the UWF Championship. There was some tournament going on, and there was a big cup involved as well. And you had like Bam Bam Bigelow, Dr. Death Steve Williams, and Terry Taylor, I think, was on it. And it was shot with a nice white background, and they're all pulling on the handles of the cup trying to get control of it. And I just remember just looking at that cover going, I want to see whatever this event is. And couldn't, but that's the way things was then. But now watching the stuff on YouTube and all that, wow, it was Ted DiBiase was there. Some really, really good stuff. Wrestling the way it was meant to be. All right, let me get a look at my championship title here for the first time. So this was pretty much an exact replica of the one I used last year. I might want to darken the red in the middle a little bit. It's too popping. But other than that, it works. And I like the fact that he's got his vest on and the belt is there and it's not clipping in any way the way it should be. I may darken the gold color on the front plate as well so that you see more of the detail. You kind of see it there when the light hits it right, but I think if I darken it up, it'll show up more. Oh, I thought you was getting me with the April Fools. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good one. Yeah, Georgia Championship. All that was good wrestling, man. It really, that's like I said, I grew up on WWF. Then I moved to Florida in 1986, which was the perfect time to come to Florida because all of a sudden Saturday mornings we had this wrestling program on out of the Eddie Graham area. Well, Tampa for the TV tapings, but they always showed you highlights from Eddie Graham. And I was like, man, this is some grungy-ass wrestling. I like it. And I was a Barry Windham fan from when him and Rotundo were in the WWF. And all of a sudden over here he's challenging for the heavyweight championship of the state of Florida. And I'm like, that's my man. Got to see Kevin Sullivan. I'd only seen Sullivan in, what was her name? It wasn't Woman back then. What were they calling her? Fallen Angel. I'd seen pictures of her and stuff in the magazines with him. And I was like, damn, that's a good-looking girl right there. So I got to see her on a regular basis. Southern wrestling really just was always. And then I got introduced to the NWA on TBS. And I barely watched WWF in comparison. I stayed up with it. But it was, I was telling my friends back in New York because they couldn't see it. And I told them, I said, guys, there's a much better world waiting for you. It is so much better. I didn't get to really sit down and watch the UWF stuff, Bill Watts wrestling, the Mid-South and all that until probably about a decade ago, maybe a little bit more. And then I was binging it on YouTube. I mean, I was just finding playlists, and I've got so many DVDs of it now that I just took those videos and burned them in DVD. When the WWE got the library, I was waiting for them to put up the whole Mid-South roster, the run, the series. Never did, really. They had a couple of shows here and there, but they never took advantage of it. They still have the ability to. I guess eventually maybe they will. Or maybe it's on the vault and I just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Memphis was another good one. Prime time. That was another one that was solid wrestling. We're at 51 minutes without crashing. Yesterday, I made it about 6 minutes before the crash on WrestleMania. I just want to be able to stream without all the drama. And as much as I like OBS, I got to admit, I'm kind of hoping that this is the solution. Damn. AJ just got popped with that elbow, busted him wide open. Cannonball. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg, gets count of one, gets two. Don't mess with the clowns, man. They will mess you up. Yeah, once you go JCP, you don't go back. Jim Crockett Promotions, man. The Vault has all three Crockett Cups up there now, and the first one is complete. I mean, no commentary, but it's got like day one and day two. I mean, it's a long watch. And it's kind of a sad thing when you see what the NWA's version of the Crockett Cup looks like today. Fun fact, it was the Crockett Cup that pretty much signed the death warrant for Billy Corgan's NWA, because that was their next big show when COVID hit. And literally, it was like 2 to 3 days prior to that pay-per-view taking place that all public events were canceled. Which would have been about this time of year, because they'd also kind of shut down Mania. The Master is here. Yeah, I don't doubt that eventually it's going to get there. I'm just amazed that it's not there already. And look at AJ donating blood to the project here. So again, all this blood that we see here ringside and everything should stay there for the rest of the show. That's the move that Peter Maivia used as a finisher. And I mean, I can see it working back in the 60s and 70s. I don't know, to me, it's just a very drama-free event. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. Oh, yeah, Rebellion. I forgot about that. And that's also the other thing was at that time, MLW was doing really well. And they tried to keep up by doing stories outside of the ring. If they would have thought about cinematic matches, that might have helped them. But Get out of town. I gave you a lay-down match and you lose to the clown. Wow. 2K. Man, he had like a 12-point advantage in this match. I'm still not convinced that those numbers mean shit. So now my question is, can I switch back to controlling it from here? I see the back button, so I'm hitting that. Let's see if it lets me actually go back. I like his face paint. Looks pretty good this year. No, it's going right to the next match. Yeah, so once you go into view mode, I think you're stuck with view mode. I don't see any way of getting back out of it. Skip the scene, take over the match. Oh, I guess you could take over the match. Yeah, I guess if you take over the match, that'll probably get you back out. Dude, every year I try to give them a chance, and it's been about 8 months since I've watched any of their stuff. It's just bad. I mean, going into COVID, they had Eli Drake, otherwise known as LA Knight. They had Ricky Stark. They had good talent. Yeah, I mean, James Storm was at the end of his run, but yeah, all right. You know, he with the other talents around him, not so bad. They had several. You had Camille. You had Nick Aldis. They had an okay roster. It was something you could build off of.
Your ass better call somebody.
I like those belts. They came out pretty good. So we have new tag team titles this year.
You damn right.
I wonder if you change their victory, does it kill the intros again like last year, or did they actually put the right one on? That was the thing. Sometimes you just got to know when to say I fucked up.
Hits me.
When people were complaining about that last year, and they were trying to say, oh no, that was meant to be that was supposed to be the tag team celebration we wanted them to have. Well, then why do you have the real one in the game? Just say you fucked up. We know you fucked up. It's only worse when you don't admit it.
Cut the music.
Well, Infrared, has MLW done another show since they were here in Central Florida like 2 months ago?
Children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass, Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaw.
Solid job on the intro.
And of course, if you're not down with that,
Since the Battle Riot, I don't know that they've done any more shows. I tried watching the channel about 3 weeks ago at least, and there was nothing new. They're showing, recycled matches from years ago, but there's no additional shows. There's nothing else with Cross being the champion or anything like that, unless it's in the last couple of weeks, maybe. Right, in the interest of time, we'll go to wrap up. It might take a long time anyway. Double team. Tons of fun over here. The pendulum bomb. Be curious to see how long it takes to get this to wrap up the wrap up. Well, yeah, that Father James Mitchell thing really, wow. I mean, Corgan had to know about that, right? Whether he knew about it or not, doesn't matter. That was the kiss of death. Lost a TV contract over that. I don't even feel bad about it, though, because I keep thinking back to Corgan getting rid of James Cornette. Why? Because he told a joke that he told 20 years ago, and it wasn't even that big a deal. But because he had to listen to the woke people when they started crying, so in my world, you got what you paid for. You want to listen to those idiots? You look at the companies that do well nowadays. American Eagle, because they didn't give a shit that people didn't like Sydney's jeans. And they stuck with it. And even now, I think it's In-N-Out Burger has religious sayings on their cups when you get your soda. And everyone from the left is coming out saying, no, that's insulting to us, and you shouldn't have that. And they're, well, too bad they're going to be on there whether you like it or not. And they're doing really well. All right, so you can get the tag match done a little bit quicker for sure. Good to know. And still pulled a 2.5 star out of it. See, what I would like is, even though the titles weren't on the line, they are the champions, and I would like the titles to be involved in their celebration. A real tag team championship team would be doing that. They would have the belts back with them. They'd be holding them up again, even though the titles weren't on the line. Can I? No, I can't. You have to take it over during the match. Billy Gunn's older than me, and he looks fucking amazing. The WXF Arena and Belts. WXF. That's a real thing, or is that something you made up? It sounds familiar. Yeah, I was happy when they put 3-minute warning in the game, because they were another one of those teams that never got the justice in the end that they deserved.
And his opponent from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, William Regal.
So what I did not know is the number of times you tap the button on the D-pad will affect which taunt they use, like the little crying taunt. If you tap it 3 times, 1 time will give you that, and I think if you do it twice, well, too late now. I think you get a 3rd option. Nothing like having a cocaine character to guarantee your promotion's not going to get any big exposure, huh? I gotta figure that the Juggalos or one of those kind of promotions is going to come up with an ice segment where a bunch of guys are going to be wearing ice jerseys and come out there and start taking the talent away or some shit. Yeah, Santana has always been my guy. Him and Barry Windham, they're 2 guys. I mean, when people say who's my favorite, it's a tie. Those are the 2. I was actually watching a video on YouTube the other day where they put a bunch of different, excuse me, big names out there talking about Barry Windham specifically. And they all just, and it was from many years gone by as well. So clips of things that Dusty said about Barry, And they show that clip of Dusty, and then Ric Flair, of course, has always said how great he was. And they all tell the same story. The only reason he didn't reach the upper echelon that he would have is he didn't want it. He loved wrestling, and look at the blood on there from the earlier matches. Yeah, buddy. The carryover. It's going to look like a crime scene one of these shows, especially with ECW shows. Even the mat's got the blood stain still on it. Like I said, this should have been a big year for them with 2K. But they did so much damage. The Battle Pass, and that could have all been forgiven. If the Battle Pass was everything in Tier 1, then I think they would have caught a lot less slack. But then when you look at the patch notes and how much stuff was broken, you would have had, I think, a lot of people looking past that simply because you didn't have that glaring issue. The Battle Pass stole all the spotlight. That was the only thing people were talking about. Is this foot not going under that middle rope every time? Yeah, no wonder he's mad at the referee. I'd be mad too. You already got screwed out of the Intercontinental title with Danny Davis. Spoiler warning. Yeah, I mean, now they want to fix the problem. You know, for the next Battle Pass and the other ones after that, it's going to be in Tier 1. But why did you have to let it get to the part where there's that forearm? Why did you have to let it get to the point where your entire community hates you? And they do that all the time. They are their own worst enemy. They shoot themselves in the foot, if not someplace else. Oh, we got another promo. It's going to be the same one. Same selection. So there's another version. Maybe it's because they're not in an actual feud where the guy who lost comes up from the far side and they get into a face-off. So I got to figure out what we got to do to trigger that one. Oh, infrared. Man, there's no question about the greed. The greed is real with this one. For the second time tonight, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. As much as I actually have grown to like that song now.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
No, they didn't talk last time either, really. It was pretty much the same as this. The only difference is we have some different cutscenes, and if you're a champion... Well, actually, no. Orndorff didn't have the belt with him for the post-match one. Now there's a promo, self-promo, and if you're a champion, you have the belt for that. Orndorff, his second match of the night. He might not have a lot left in the tank. Hurricane taking advantage of the champion. Flying forearm right to the head, and Orndorff intro. Oh, wait a minute. He's up now, and he don't look happy. Got caught. looking for the victory here. It'll be an upset. He got him.
Here is your winner.
Double dipping not working. So, well, all in all, it wasn't bad. I want to see some more with those promos and what else is left to be had there. Like I said, I've seen a face-off between the two guys that were in the match. I'm just going to have to figure out what you got to do to make that a thing. Yeah, there is a really good Rick Martel out there, though. I can't show you on this because it'll just crash the game if I go to Community Creations. Let's see about arena modifications here. So we'll take this one, I guess. Duplicate arena. I'm going to go to edit. Okay, so it didn't crash. Again, we're on the PS5 with this. Let's go to the ring for fun here. Go to the mat. And let's go ahead and change the image. So it looks like it's going to let you do that. Oh, they finally put it at 0. Thank you. They used to have it always at 20, which was annoying as hell. Or maybe it's because I took it down. Yeah, it's probably just reading the settings that I put in there. So you can still do that on the PS5. Now let's see what happens if I try to adjust the size of it. Yeah, see how it jumps down? And once it jumps down, oh, you can go side to side. You just can't go up and down.
That's what she said.
And even side to side, not too much. 1, 2, 3. It's like 5. Oh, you can go, yeah. So your max size is probably even, oh man, maybe about 30% of what you could normally do. So there is a little bit of sizing as an option, but you can't get that large.
That's what she said.
I mean, I could literally hit that button after almost every sentence. Miracle, I can say it is, and no one's going to believe me, and it's justifiable because I wasn't getting this one, and I wasn't. But it's day one, looked really good, and I was playing it, and it felt good.
That's what she said.
But between the fact that they've completely screwed me over where I can't even go to Community Creations without crashing the game, the fact that it's been almost a month now, and they keep sending me the same cookie cutter answer that we are working on your problem, we're trying to solve it for everyone, not just one person, blah, 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 blah. This should not be a hard fix. The thing is, you prioritize other things outside of us. It's funny, when Status got delisted a year ago, they kicked him off the service because of what he was doing. All of a sudden, when all the fans started writing to them, they put him back on within 24 hours or 48 hours, I think is all. He had a cool-off period of about 48 hours, and they brought him back after they told him there's no way you're coming back. So if you have enough social media clout, then we'll take care of your problem. I assure you, if Status wasn't able to get on Community Creations, it would be fixed. If it was crashing his game, it would be addressed. So, based on my overall experience this year, and the game, every year the game's going to be broken at launch. We already know that. And I knew that this year, even when it felt pretty good in day one, and I went and bought the other dude's game that he was going to return. Even then, I knew as I got deeper in the weeds, it was going to get bad. Did I know I wouldn't be able to delete that one? Did I know I wasn't going to be able to go to Community Creations without crashing my shit? No, I didn't know that. And while the logos is a thing, at least you can get away with removing the LEDs and stuff now. But again, back to my fear factor, what's going to happen when they do the patch to fix this? What's going to happen with all the other logos that are in the game? How bad's it going to mess shit up? To be determined. Where we at? Hour 17 without a crash. I'm going to try and keep going for a while yet. I'd like to break the 2-hour mark without a crash and see. That's going to definitely make me feel it's more OBS related. And I'll be sad. Miracle, you have every right not to. I don't blame you. But if I'm being asked the question, the reality is no, I'm not getting any more. Here's the way I'm looking at it. Let's presume the game was just normally bad, not as bad as this year, okay? And let's assume that I was able to get on Community Creations on my main account and not having to split accounts. Is it worth the extra $30? No, absolutely not. Here I am on the second account, now playing through the My Rise again and playing through the showcase again to unlock the European Championship? No, absolutely fucking no. That shit should all be there. Action 6979 just followed. Welcome to the nation, sir. Again, I'm seeing stuff here that I would not see with OBS. So I think Meld is going to be a new thing. It's got certain parts of it that are a bit of a drawback, but I'm liking all these other things that are super cool. And I really like this. It's a good presentation. Okay, the tag team entrances. I thought the same thing you did. And guess what? We're both wrong, and I'm going to show you why. But again, they change shit that's never been without telling anyone. Let's go. Roster. Edit teams. We'll make a new team. ABC. There you go. And let's get a couple of. Let me find a couple of people I can throw in there. Yeah, what the hell? Brooks, Jensen, and Swan. No, we'll throw Yoshi in there for shits and giggles. All right. So, I thought the same thing. And let me show you something. Let me show you something. So, if you go to your motions, the man ain't lying. Now, you've got a bunch of tag teams there, yes. Okay, but if you go to your title motions, you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. That's all you got for title motions. However, if we go back, and I got to remember how I did this. There we go, title motions. So your entrances are on the top. My thing is you couldn't preview title motions because I didn't realize you had to move these things on the top around. You never used to do that in the past. You used to just click on it and there it was. Now, you might, you know what? I think you might still be right, though, about the fact that there's only 8. I thought there was a way that we discovered. Maybe not. To keep your generic entrance the same. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, so you're in the title motion, and you go to template. That's what it was. Once you go to template, you choose whichever motion you're going to want. And yeah, it's going to reset everything at that point. But then you just have to go down, and then you can go here, and then you can go, generic 8 for that. That'll keep that for the tag team title. So when you switch over to your tag team title, now you're seeing that. I knew there was a way of doing it. And then your regular motion will be this one. And then you'll change out your Titantrons and your music and all that other stuff. So it's kind of the same way we were working on the arenas before. You just have to know which template it is you want, which entrance it is you want, but they're all there, obviously. And then from there, you're going to have to isolate the other stuff. A lot of stupid shit that you never had to do before, and this is what I'm talking about with 2K. It's exactly what I'm talking about with 2K. There's no rhyme, no reason why they did this. But that is your workaround, sir. Yeah, Master, we were doing that a couple weeks ago as well. We figured that works. And that's kind of the same logic. The way you went to the gymnasium arena to get rid of the LEDs and then built the arena around it that you wanted is the same thing you do with the tag team title entrance. You pick the overall template of whose entrance you want for the tag team title match or tag team title entrance. And once you've picked that, because again, that'll give you everybody's. Then you have to go in and just break it down. It's stupid. Again, you never did this before. But that is the workaround to that. So, if you didn't know, hit the like button down below. If you did know, hit it twice. No, don't hit it 3 times. Twice I'll turn it back off. 3 times I'll put it back on. So, Infrared, I hope that helps you out, Bubba. Well, I can't promise you it ain't going to crash a game. I can only tell you that works for me, bro. It has worked thus far. And I think Jay did the same thing, and he's on PC. Did it save that team? I don't think it did save that team, didn't it? All right, let's get rid of that. Okay. And again, one of the things I really love is the fact that you just set the teams up here, and then when you go into your season modes, you just, I think it's a left 3 or the right 3 stick, and boom, it imports them all instantly. Again, there's so many good things about this game. It should have been, they should have been getting flowers thrown at them, but they just can't help themselves. They had to be greedy fucks with the battle pass. You had to have Brian Unique Mosique coming out there telling us we're not playing the game right. Y'all just, you can't help yourselves. You just can't do it. Primetime learned something new. That's 3 clicks on the like button. Unless you've already done it once, in which case leave it alone. 2K, if it ain't broke, break it. Jay, did you do that on yours though? Did you try on the PC to do that little trick there for the tag team entrances, for the title entrances specifically? I'm presuming it works the same for the PC as it does on this, but sometimes they can be a little fussy, temperamental. Oh, dude, you know what? That's a great question, Infrared. I didn't even think about that. And you're right. It is a bit of a douchebag thing. I've already got mine all set up. I don't know if I want to mess with it, but let me see. Just for shits and giggles. Hold on. Let's go to entrances. And we'll take off. I'm not going to use him for an... I would think that would be the same. Yeah, because with title motion, can you... Yeah, well, with singles, though, you have the ability to do everybody's. They're all there. So, could you still do that? Yeah, you can, but you don't need to here. That's entrance. I think it's victories that were a bigger issue, though. Let me double check that. Because victory has the heel babyface thing separate. And I'm pretty sure it did work. I feel like I did do that. Yeah, you already have all of those there pretty much, although I think it does have selected ones for face versus heel that are different. Let me see. So we have Cody Rhodes, for example, as a baby face. No, and he's there for a heel too. So yeah, I don't see that being an issue. And maybe that's something that was fixed in the patch. I don't know if it was like that before or not, to be honest with you. To my knowledge, it was pretty much a tag team entrance issue. And it still is that you have to do that trick to get it to do it. And Jay has confirmed that it does work with the tag team title entrance trick on the PC as well. Well, you can always turn off the tutorial mode. I don't mind that being on. There's usually something new that, even though we know how to play the game for the most part, and they don't make major changes in the control scheme, it's not a big deal. I mean, you can go to the settings and turn them off right away, so I don't mind that so much. But I would like to see the accelerator come back. It's not going to. I mean, we just got to be realistic about that. The accelerator days are gone. They're dead. They're buried. They are over. It's over, Johnny. It's over. All right. Where are we at here? Hour 30 and still going strong. OBS, I don't know, man. I'm a little worried about you. I do like these transition screens. Honest to God, I do. In My Rise, you can't turn off game moves. Huh? I don't follow. Let me see. In My Rise, you can't turn off game moves. Primetime, there's no chance in hell, as Vince McMahon would say, that they are not going to keep Battle Pass moving forward. It's not happening. They will tweak it again and again and again to maximize the money they can get out of it. I do believe that they realize lawyers were coming for them, and that's why they've made the consolations that they have. Number one, they put the DLC in Tier 1, and they're giving us all the points to get through Tier 1 right away. So that's the consolation. In the meantime, they can still hide all the shit that should be free. And these battle passes would be so much better if you're going to do that, if you were giving away things that mattered, like hairstyles that are currently, you have to buy them. And here's the funny thing. I had to buy one because there was a creative wrestler I wanted to download on the other account. And the guy did such a great job on it, but he friggin' used one of those hairstyles. I don't think he needed to necessarily, but he did. So I was forced to buy that, but I already had the points that you get when you buy the game. So sooner or later, I'm going to use them on something. I'm just holding on to them right now in case something comes along that I actually give a shit about. They're not going to add hairstyles, I don't think. They didn't do it last year. So, and the majority of the ones that are locked, it's like I've got no use for any of these. They're ridiculous looking styles. JJ ain't got to apologize, man. You got to do what you got to do. I'm glad you're back. Yeah, Battle Pass is here to stay. What I'm saying is what they did this year, there are going to be a lot of people next year that are just going to say thanks, but no, I'm good. I'm good. Because even if they do come out next year with create a story mode, I'm going to sit here and go, gosh, damn it, that's what I've been waiting for. And then I'm going to say, you know how broken that game's going to be? You're going to make create a story mode, and it's either going to crash all automatically all the time. It won't be working for 4 months, if you're lucky. So I'm not going to tell you I'm not buying 2K27 ever, but I'm sticking to it at this point, man. I'm not paying $150. No, I'm done. And I'm not getting a PlayStation 6 either, because they're saying that thing's going to come out at almost $1,000. No, absolutely not. I've got such a collection of games surrounding me in this room. I don't need no more. And they're not that much better when it comes to fun. Honest to God, I feel like I could go back to Here Comes the Pain and have more fun. I can go back to 2K14 and have create a story mode. Yes, in case you guys hadn't heard, you can now change Rey Mysterio's masks. Which I didn't realize that wasn't a thing, to be honest with you. So, actually, I did change or come up with a second attire for, an alt attire for Miss Liv Morgan, because they gave her the worst friggin' costume. That red costume this year is, induced vomiting. So I gave her a couple of her dark outfits that she was wearing a lot. And these aren't necessarily hers, but they gave her the look of a dark outfit, and they did a great job of capturing her ass. I gotta say it. And I was telling Jay earlier, I'm sure she had some say in that because she's very proud of her ass. If you ever seen her doing any workout videos, she's been on a couple of people's shows. She's been on Sheamus's workouts. She's been on Rhea's, and she talks about how she focuses on that. So I'm sure she leaned in there and said, "You better get my ass right," and I think they did. But then they put her in the worst friggin' outfit. So anyway, I gave her a couple of Volta tires that make her look a little bit more the way she looks. What we're going to do here, Ray, give him an Alta tire. Why not? Since I should do it on my other account, really, but that's all right. We could do it twice. Let's see. I think I'll go with this one because that's the one we're using for ECW, and on this one is where's my ECW roster. So, alternate attire. Here we go. Boyaka, boyaka. Wonder if I can delete that. Clothing, headgear, yep, it's gone. And then come down to masks. I didn't realize you couldn't change them. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Is there a trick to it? Rotate, camera option, select, favorite, show locked attire. Okay, let's try this. Parts color, import parts, select persona. I wonder if you have to make him his own Let me see something here. Let's start this way and see if it makes a difference. What's up with that? I was told, I've seen videos, I thought, where you can switch his masks out now. What's the deal? Am I doing something wrong here? Ooh, Jay. Ouch. Ouch. Going after Beth and the leg thing. Oh. Yeah, they're definitely going to work on Battle Pass, but they're not going to get rid of it. I don't remember what her 2K24 outfit was, to be honest with you. I'd have to look it up, I guess. I'll definitely take a look at the Abyss. I remember he had a denim look. I kind of like this one, to be honest with you. But I'll take a look at that. Other Ray. Oh, can't do it on this Ray? What? Boy, here we go again. Friggin' 2K. Can only do it on the other Ray. Like, that should surprise me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't. All right, did it save him already, or no? Go this way. Sorry. So I'll have to switch this around to my season mode too then. Aha. Now, again, why can't you just do that for both Rey Mysterios? So, since we're doing his ECW stuff, we'll go with some of his earlier mask designs. Obviously, this is the first one that comes to mind. I'm trying to remember. Did he have upper and lower body on this? I think he did, didn't he? I think it was like a full body suit, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if something looks familiar here. Assuming it's not locked or something. Got to buy it in the island. I feel like he had a full-length sleeve. What the hell is this? Huh, that's interesting. You can start a Britt Baker jersey with that. Or the Goon. No, that's more the Goon right there. I know that's Jeff Hardy, but it would work. I'm going to grab that for the moment. I might go back and change it, but rather than have to go hunt it down again. Long sleeve. Yeah, that's going to have to work for now. I don't think he had gloves of any kind on. I'll have to go back and look at the... He's kind of got gloves on now, though, doesn't he? I'll go do some reference material later on and tweak some of this stuff out, but just for now to get it where I need it to be. Tights, lengthy ones. I'm not going to specify which promotion because I will... What's this? No. Let's see. Hour and 45 minutes, and we still haven't crashed. See, OBS, again, OBS is a free service as well, just the same as Meld is. But they've always been the dominant force. They've always been the leaders. Same way Microsoft was. By the way, Microsoft, I've done a lot of watching videos and going on different chat sites and things of that nature regarding Windows and Microsoft. Up until a year ago, a little more than a year ago, they had 74% of the PC market worldwide. Worldwide. Let that sink in. All the computers in the world, 74% of them were Microsoft computers. Today, 51%. Massive drop. They said in 30 days, 20 million people switched to either Linux or one of the other 2 or 3 options that are most popular. 20 million in 30 days. They are running in droves from Windows right now. And the business consumer prediction is they will never come back from it. And this is the same thing that's going to happen at 2K. The only reason 2K has a breath in their body and a heartbeat that registers is because there is no competition. That's the only reason. If another company came out with a game that didn't suck, doesn't even have to be good. Just has to not suck. Then 2K is dead. And they're going to find, and then they're going to want to go back. Oh, we're going to get rid of the Battle Pass. No, too late. Too late. Talk to the folks at Bud Light, see how that worked out. All of a sudden, after they got crushed, then they come out with the Clydesdales and the good-looking girls at a barbecue throwing a football around, and no one's buying their shit. All the people that walked away from Bud Light are still away. They're not coming back. You don't get a second chance on certain things. There's honest mistakes that people can look past, and there's just horrible decisions that insult your base. When you make it personal, and that's what they have in common. Bud Light and 2K have made it personal. Whether it was intentional or not does not matter. Ignorance does not help. If you think, oh, well, we could just flip the switch and bring it back to the Clydesdales if this doesn't work, well, now you're finding out, no, it doesn't work that way. Another major company that has really suffered after bad decision making, Harley Davidson. They tried doing a rainbow thing. And boy, oh boy, they found out quick, man. Apparently fags don't ride. And they are eating it. They have closed down, I don't remember how many shops it was. A lot of Harley stores have closed. And it used to be they were so elitist in their attitude that, first off, if you bought a Harley, you generally always brought it to Harley for repairs. So, number one, you're overpaying for just because of the name that's on it. It's not a better motorcycle. Quite the opposite, really. With all the rumbling and stuff, shit comes loose all the time. So, unless you're a certified mechanic, get ready to open that wallet. And they're counting on it. But then when you go there to pay the overhyped prices, the overpriced repairs that they will hit you with, well, we can get you in 3 weeks. And it got to the point where if you would show up in the showroom wanting to buy a bike, if you weren't wearing a Rolex, they would look at the guy who was, and you would be ignored. Well, now that nobody's there in comparison to where they were in the past, they're calling people, former customers, hey, why don't you come in? I'll show you the new stuff that's rolling out. And they're not having nothing to do with it. I think this is going to be the best bet right here. Not sure where this red is at, but it's probably below the boots, is my guess. I'm going to have to do some research to see what he was wearing back then. Got a feeling it would have been white. But for now, we'll go with the purple for continuity, and then I can look it up later. I don't think he had kick pads back in ECW days. I'll come up with something different for that second one later, but for right now. That works. I'll do more work on him later on. It's April 1st, buddy. If you're seeing it today, then somebody's probably pulling your chain. The reality is we're supposed to believe in the 60s we actually flew and landed a person on the moon or people on the moon and flew them back. We're supposed to believe that. We can't do it today because they have that, I think, the Orion ring or whatever it's called there that would make it impossible. We'd never be able to get through it. Well, how'd you do it in the 60s? Better yet, how in the 60s, when we were still using landlines that were on a good day, how in the 60s, when you only had maybe 3 networks at the time, CBS, NBC, and ABC, I think all 3 existed when the launch was going on, allegedly. How did you manage to get really good signal from the moon back to Earth? And then the bigger question is, we have great video of the lunar capsule landing on the moon and Armstrong getting out of the capsule. How did the camera get there to film all that? And who's manning the camera? I mean, it's so obvious. Today you could turn around and say, oh, we had a robot that put the camera out on a tripod, blah, blah, blah. You didn't have that in the 60s. And they're jumping around there in spacesuits with a hose thing. Come on, stop. If you've never seen the movie Capricorn 1 from probably 71-ish, Capricorn 1 had O.J. Simpson in it before he started killing everybody. And basically that movie was based on the moon landing and how fake it is and how you'd fake it. Great movie, though. Great movie. Highly recommend. If you've not seen it, check it out. So we have not landed on the moon. No one has landed on the moon. It's all bullshit. We're not at Mars either. There's no robot Mars rover bullshit. It's all bullshit. We are not that technically advanced. If we were, then this fucking game would work. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Ken Rogers in the house. Welcome aboard, buddy. Catch you up to speed, buddy. I am not using OBS today. I am on a new one called Meld Studio. So I haven't uploaded all my little tricks and stuff. So like, you know, the theme song that I would be playing to sing along for you, it's not up there at the moment yet. I don't have my little clown horns and all that kind of stuff yet either. I wanted to test it out a little bit, kick the wheels, and see if it's a good alternate. And also see if it crashes also, which we're just about to hit the 2-hour mark without a crash. So if that is the case, if this thing's able to keep on going without crashing, then it was 100% OBS. And I feel bad for OBS because they are losing a lot of people right now. A lot of people, there's one guy, and I forget his name. He's a big YouTuber for OBS in particular, any of that kind of electronic stuff. But if you ever do a search for OBS, if you're not using OBS and decide you want to try doing your own streaming and you get OBS, you will find his channel because you're going to need his help to get going in the beginning at the very least. And even after all these years, I'll watch one of his channels and he'll show how to do that. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that. And he was talking about the fact that, you know, I hate this. I like OBS. I've used it so long now. And I have to transition away because my channel is showing people how to make these things work. And while I'm streaming, it's crashing. So I know that OBS is definitely a part of the problem in their own selves. But it may be that they were really the problem the whole way along. So if this ain't going to crash on me, I'll find a way to make this work. I do like my transitions, and I can add a sound effect to it as well, so it'll be fun. It'll be something different. And like anything, you know, repetition, it's like wrestling. The more you get in the ring, the better you get at it. Wrestling Code is not coming out anytime soon. The man has said so. It's a passion project. He does it in his spare time. He doesn't have a lot of spare time. He's the first guy to say, I never came up with a date for it or anything like that. Years from now, if it ever sees the light of day, it's not going to happen anytime soon. As for Ultra Pro, I don't see that happening either. I sent Sam a message, good 2 weeks ago. Never got a response. I hope I'm wrong. I do. But I'm just getting that little, you know, take the money and run vibe right now. So it's unfortunate because I know they're working on the game. I know for a fact they were working on it. Dude, I've been saying that for a long time, Ken. If gosh almighty, it would be amazing if Fire Pro ever did a 3D game, and it doesn't have to be ultra realistic 3D like this, but if they just did a 3D game, like a nicer version, what Ultra Pro's doing, that level, a nicer version of 64, and kept the logic, it would be an amazing wrestling game. Now, are they going to have cutscenes and stuff like that? I would say they probably wouldn't. That's not their thing. And just to make it 3D is going to be fun. He sent me a thing of Ray. Let me see here. Oh, I remember Abyss now with the white outfit. Yeah, that'd be 2 alternate outfits. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I didn't recall the denim as much. I now that I'm looking at it, I guess a little, but I wasn't watching the product as much. With the white was during the Dr. Stevie thing, and I saw it a little bit more then. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it's all pink pretty much. I wonder, so... Yeah, but it's not in the game, I don't think. Ray's attire. mask is there. You would think the rest would be there. Black boots. Let me see. Let me see. This is more of a pink than purple. I was just going off the mask since that's default. And I don't know if I can change the mask color. Let's see. That's a good question. You generally can't. Well, maybe you can. Let's see. Oh, we can. Looky there. All right. So we can go with a more pink. So there's that. I wonder if it's under outfits, maybe. Let's see. Maybe it's under outfits. I bet you it would be. Costume. Let's see if it's in here. There's our Max Moon. Man, I would really think that it would be in, since they have the mask in there. Let's see here. What's locked up? Santa Claus. This has serious Fallout vibes. That's Becky's outfit. That's right. And I heard you can put this outfit on, the astronaut suit, but then you can't put the astronaut helmet on with it. The fuck? Hey, this would be good for Andre if you wanted to have him be Bigfoot from the $6 Million Man. This might be better. Doesn't have the tail. You got your Yeti. Gobbledygooker. Gotta have that in the game, of course. No, I don't think they got Ray's suit in here then. All right. Well, if it's not under outfits, let's try again with this for fun. Now that at least I know what I'm looking for. Check everything that's locked up. I was right, though. It's full-length sleeves. What is this? That'd be cool to use if you could layer it, but you can't. Same thing. Well, you can kind of get away with layering this one. Let me see. I'll go through the rest of them just in case it's actually in there, but if not, it's the far right side on the same line as Tito. We should be able to put some sleeves on a separate level and work that together, and that would be close. What's going on with that? Nope. Heard the Usos got some new theme music and people lost their minds. which I guess they're now coming through the main entrance again and not doing the whole yeet down the stairway. Which for me, I mean, I'm so over that yeet shit, I could puke it. But from a fan interaction, if you're there live and you paid a lot of money for seats that aren't ringside, but you have a chance that, you know, Jimmy and Jay are going to walk past you or whatever, and I guess I can understand where you might be a little miffed about it. Yeah, I don't think they kept it in this year's game. I feel like it would have to have been in an outfits category. But with 2K, you never know. They do some illogical logic a lot of times. It's actually what they do best. Thanks for the reference photo, by the way, because I would not have thought about that attire. It's another one you could probably get away with. They will give it a little bit of the same look as a top attire, but yeah, of course we got Dom's attire we could get away with. The more I've been doing with creations this year, since I can't download on this account, a lot of things have been coming back to me of what we used to be able to do with games 12 years ago that we can't do anymore. Layering facial hair. You could choose 2 or 3 different beards. Doing it that way allowed you to get the right look for whoever it was you were creating, whereas now you got to pick the one that's closest. And you also used to be able to layer. I mean, you can still layer shirts technically here, but I feel like you had more options. Less slots. But layering was a much, with hair as well. You could layer hairs back in the old days. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find the official. They still have stuff here from, what the hell was that chick's name? Oh, damn. The blonde military chick from the WWE. She retired like 4 years back. Man, I can see her right there. I almost had her name in my head, and it keeps on falling out. She was originally, when they brought her in, she had that USO 1960s vibe going on, and then they finally made her just a little bit more badass. Damn, her name's right there, too. I just can't get it. Anyway, her outfit's still in here. I actually liked her. I thought she was pretty solid. She was a good-looking girl. You could tell she was an athlete. I thought for somebody who didn't love wrestling, I thought she did a pretty damn good job of it. I mean, she was the first one to say she was there for the paycheck. Not a love of the business, didn't grow up watching it, none of that shit. Jamon Scott's in the house. How you doing, brother? Did they finally get it working? Come on, man. Stop. Don't push me like that. No. I still cannot download anything on my main account. And I don't think it's going to change. I sent them an email telling them, I've given up on you guys. You ain't going to fix shit. You never fix shit. Your priority was to patch the fact that we wouldn't be able to grind a little faster. And now what did you have to do as a result of that? We're going to put it in the first tier the rest of the way. They don't give a shit. Period. All right. It was on the same line as Tito's. Oh, but I got to do something else first. Hold on. Yeah, so this one's going to have to be just a generic. Like this. All right, there we go. Colors. Got that part there. And we'll try that. It's not going to be exact, but close enough. I might want to cover the back up a little bit, though. Let's see if we can get away with that. I find that cloth generally does the best job of covering. Here we go. Oops, need to do these wacky sleeve things that he's got going on. Lower arm left. I know they've got some of these. There we go. Something like this. Copy that over there. Before I go all in on this, let me see. They might have the tights in there, possibly. They should have like these diamond type cuts to them. Very surprised they have all the masks, but then they don't have any of his tight designs. Lacey Evans was the name I was trying to think of earlier. One of you probably put it in the chat already. The artist returns. Van Allen belt. There you go. Man, that's what I love about you guys. I don't have to use my full brain because I have you guys to back me up. That thing. They're supposed to circle the Earth for 2 days and then go to the moon. Yeah, I'll hold my breath too. It ain't going to happen. Never happened before. They lie to us all the time. I mean, it's just pathetic. It's not even the bad part that they're lying. The bad part is that they keep doing it and thinking we believe them. It's like the guy... And I said it from day one. The guy who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk, he's not even going to stand trial. They're going to end up throwing this thing out because now the bullet and the gun don't match. I could have told you that. That whole story was friggin' shit from the beginning. And they thought we were going to believe it? The fact that somebody like him... And what a guy. I mean, so smart, so sharp, retained information like a fucking computer. No better. He didn't lose his. And he was so influential. And that was what scared the shit out of them. They saw how much he controlled young people. Didn't even control them. I take it back. That he gave control to young people. I see these videos all the time with these kids on spring break being interviewed and asked questions like, what year did America get its emancipation, and who did we get our freedom from? Who did we have to separate from to gain our freedom? And the answers are like, it's a guy. I forget his name. It's not a guy. It's a fucking country. You dumbass motherfuckers. No education whatsoever. But to tell me that Charlie Kirk was killed by this dumb flamer from across a courtyard with a mediocre rifle and no real shooting skills. One shot. And then they come out with the 30-06 story, which anyone that knows anything about bullets, bullshit, he would have had no head. And then the bullet got stopped by his Superman strong neck. Stop, man. Just stop. It didn't work in the 60s with Kennedy, and we now know that that was bullshit. We knew it then, too. I wasn't around for that one, but growing up, the story didn't add up to me as a kid, and getting older with the internet, with people doing reenactments and sharpshooters with more modern weapons, and they couldn't make that shot. And then the bullet that allegedly ricocheted off 15 different things to go through 2 different people. Come on, man. How stupid do you think we are? But, hey, that's the official story. Now let's move along. So, Charlie was killed most likely by Israeli forces. If I had to bet money, that's where I'm betting it. You're never going to find out who pulled the trigger. And that person, if you found out, they aren't the ones behind it. Charlie was very outspoken against Israel. And that's not something that they could afford. And then the more I see these people pulling back the layers on that, and you start to see that even Turning Point likely played a role, which I can tell you, there's no way his security task wasn't involved in that. There's no way. He's over here as a target that people have already sent death threats out to, going to play in a friggin' open air environment in a tent with buildings all around you. And you're telling me not one of them had a set of binoculars looking at rooftops? After someone took a shot at Trump like 4 months earlier? Come on. It's just the level of stupid they want us to embrace. It's ridiculous. It's insulting. But it'll work with this generation now because they're stupid. For the Gen X, we're lucky in a way that will probably be gone right before it gets real. But for the Gen Y and the Gen Z, you all don't know. Man, are you... For those of you that are against slavery, well, enjoy what you got now because you're going to be in slavery. Once this country is controlled by the elite, you're done. You are going to be living in poverty, if you're living. And you brought it on your damn selves. You just don't have... You don't have a brain to think for yourselves, and that was what Charlie was good at. He made people come up there with their dumb arguments, shot them down right in front of them, and he never raised his voice. He never, like I could never do what he does because I just look at them and say, you're an idiot. And you do lose credibility with the person you're having a debate with when you tell them they're an idiot, but if they're an idiot, somebody's got to tell them. I mean, they're in their 20s, nobody told them yet. But he had a way of just showing them, making them show themselves that they're idiots. And it was always the same thing. When they could not argue back, then they would just try to drown you out with noise. Yeah, I do not think raised tights are going to be in here. Which kind of sucks, because that would be a lot less work. Thanks, Ken. So far, it's working great. Let me see where we're at here. 2 hours and 26 minutes. That tells me it's probably the issue that was happening. And it makes sense that it would be. The Buffalo Bills shout song. To be honest with you, I didn't even know they had one. I was a Giants fan up until I gave up on football. And I know they had a song of some sort, but I can't even remember it, to be honest with you. Yeah, Wrestling Code is not happening. Oop-ah, slow ahead if you please. I got to get that clip too. Made the mistake of watching a Jaws documentary, and now it's like flooding my YouTube stream with all, or my lineup, with all these different things about Jaws, and I'm like falling into this of watching each one of them. And some of the stuff is repetitive, and I'll skip ahead. But each one had something that the other ones didn't have, and it's like I know way too much about that damn shark. Useless information. That's another good example of where you go year after year and don't improve, really. So all the issues they had with the shark in the first movie, to be expected. You never tried nothing like that before. But you'll learn from it and be better for Jaws 2. And some aspects of the shark were better for Jaws 2, but no, they still had a whole lot of technical bullshit. Didn't learn as much as you would think they were going to learn. I'm going to just grab this one real quick because I feel like that'll be a one-stop shop. And I'm going to have to probably make my own designs on there anyway, but now I can go and the rest of the way through and see if they should turn up somewhere else, but I don't think they're in here. Wouldn't make sense that they'd have the tights, but they wouldn't have the shirt. Again, that's using logic, though. I got to break away from that right now based on who we're talking about. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. I mean, it's not the ones, but we can make it the ones. Gonna run into a problem though with the red. Let me get back to you on that. What? There you go. Yeah, this works actually. All right. Now what we're going to do is, hopefully it lets us. Yes. Yes. Oh, why am I going that way for? That. I'll be able to use that one too. Maybe not. Oops. The full outfits in one pieces? Well, fuck me. Well, too late now. What's one pieces? There's outfits, which I went through all that and it wasn't there. It's going to have to wait at this point. I'll use it as a second alt if I have to. Maybe change the colors around on it. I'm streaming, man. What do you want?
I'm trying to save you, and so's Big JH. He says if you go into the full piece outfits, that whole outfit is there.
I did just go in there, and I went through all of them.
He said you have to hit R1.
The fuck is R1? Well, it's gonna have to wait. I'm almost done with this one now, so it'll just be another one.
Putting it in chat, and everybody's like, why ain't he just going and checking on it? I'm like,
Well, because my screen is up here that I'm actually working off of when I do my builds and stuff, and then the chat's over here. And I do pop my head over to the chat a little bit. I just haven't gotten all the way through it yet. So, is what it is.
so I just told him I'd call you.
All right.
We're all getting kind of antsy in the chat, so.
Well, this is an opportunity to see what you do if it wasn't in there.
Right.
And like I said, I'll just change the colors around, make it another alternate outfit. So, but I'll check in a minute.
All right.
Again, they hide shit that they didn't used to hide.
I know.
It's fucking stupid. I'm just so sick of this company. Really, I just can't stand them.
All right, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Bye. That one's done. This one might be a little trickier. I think I'm just going to leave those little black. Well, they give you all those extra slots now. So, add new image. Design. It's got a weird reverse rotation. That actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I didn't go this far to stop now. At this point, the hard work is done. Boom, 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 boom. Image. Last one, and then this one will be done. These are just the things about this game and this fucking company that I can't stand. Just put the shit in one place. It's the same thing with the tag team entrances. All of a sudden this year, you got to go left one and right one to select what you're watching. Every other year, you clicked on the title entrance, and that's what you are now watching, was title entrance. All right, now that I've done all the hard work, I'm just going to get rid of everything here first. Oh, I got to do the boot still. Tops, jackets, outfits. If I go to jackets. I went through all this shit. I don't know what else we're going to go through. Let's go to tops. Long sleeve, short sleeve, sleeveless. I'm not seeing nothing. Retromania. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah. It's a fun game. It doesn't last long, though. It's good for a little bit here and there, I guess. It was nice to see them adding some new names to the roster. Yeah, Miracle, I've seen the video. It was, again, I want to believe it. There's a lot of talk. At the very least, there should be some more video by now. It's been a long time since we've had some video. Ken, they did do a Kickstarter. That's the whole thing. UPW, this channel right here, that was their home base. We were the ones I was the one that was doing all of their promotional stuff for the first, I don't know, month and a half, whatever it is. And you can go back and find it in the playlist. There's a playlist there for UPW. And I had Sam and his team on once a week, interviewing them, just a little bit of tidbits here and there, what's going on and all that. And then they took it over and did it themselves. But that all said, Oh, something I'm just hitting me now with this Meld studio thing. I'd have to do some research to see, but I don't know if we'll be able to do our wrestle chats. I'm trying to think how I'm going to get a second camera in here, and I don't know. I'll have to do some homework and see if that's an option. To be continued. Virtual Basement said they're working on another game, which is, well, yeah, that's his real job. And that's the thing. Like he said, this is what's paying my bills, and then on the side, he's got his little hobby. So it's going to be a while. But so far as the Kickstarter, and here's the thing with the UPW, they went above and beyond their goal. And now they're allegedly getting this other payday from the government. So money is not an issue. So then where's the product? I mean, we're talking about almost 3 years since I was champion in their program. By now, there should be something. There should be something. Yeah, but Ken, do you really need 1,500 wrestlers? I mean, when are you going to use them? That was always the thing about Fire Pro. Yeah, I had amazing rosters across the board. How many matches you going to do? And even with this game, I was telling Jay, I was really, really happy to see Ren Sinclair in the game. I've always liked her from back when she was Maddie Rinkowski. I think that's her real name. But when she was coming up in the Indies. I liked her then. I thought she was good. And then I felt like NXT wasn't doing her any favors. And then lately she's been actually getting some wins, and they're finally starting to do something with her. And she's in the game this year. I haven't played her. I did look at her model to see how they do, because she's got a very unique face. And it's going to be hard to capture that. And they didn't quite capture it. It's pretty close. But I haven't played her once. And I might only play her once. Because there's so many of them here. I'll spend more time with the stuff that I'm downloading from Community Creations on my other account and the stuff that I've created on this account than I will on any of the roster. With the exception of the old timers, the Hulk Hogan's and that kind of stuff. But so far as the main roster, if you're not Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, or Gunther, you're probably not going to get a lot of play time here. So, yes, I did check WWE outfits, as everybody is saying here. It's not there. It's under costumes. I thought, hold on. Where's costumes? There's outfits. Upper body. Tops. Tops 2. Jackets. Outfits. I'm going to be pissed. This is what I'm talking about. What outfit? Just put it under the fucking one pieces in general, or just have them all in one place. The fuck you making people jump through these goddamn hoops for? That's the other thing too. We in the past years had this, which I used for Pork Chop Ed Cleaver when I did my UPW back about 4 years ago now. Where both straps were up. And this year, I do not believe they have that. I checked pretty thoroughly. They don't have that, which I thought was weird. They also don't have this where you have the bib overall top, but then the shorts bottoms, like for the Dudleys. Devon especially. Yeah, we were in this category. We were talking about the Bigfoot shit. That's similar, but it's not it. That's more for what's his name there? La Parka. Yeah, I already covered all this. It's not here. Yeah, we were here. Been here, done that. Well, at least with that one, you can maybe do something that would make a halfway decent Ultimo Dragon. I didn't even notice that one before. What is this shit? Oh, you motherfucker. Looks nicer. All right. Like I said, if they just put this shit all in one fucking place, I mean, I know that would make sense, and they don't like that. They don't work well with logic. Unbelievable. What are we doing here? Yeah, that's right. If I copied and pasted this over, how come this pink mask is suddenly the right color over here of more of a purple? And what was this attire over here? Because you can't tell me that wasn't something Rey Mysterio. It's got the same patterns pretty much. A little bit different, but for the most part. Daggone. Did I do both of them? I think I did. Nope. Yeah, like I said, we saw the way to do it if you didn't have access to it. I'll go with that. Damn. Y'all are funny. Press right one, press right one, press right one. Y'all don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. Tim's in the house. What's up? What's up is you have to press right one. That's what's up. Yes, it was definitely a team effort, no doubt about it. Takes a village to build a car. Let me see. 2 hours and 48 minutes. Officially saying goodbye to OBS. OBS, it was nice knowing you. And maybe when they come up with a more recent patch, if I hear that it's fixed a lot of the problems, then I'll switch back to them, possibly. But like I said, there's a lot about this that I like. More than I thought. Willie D in the house. How you doing, Willie? Yeah, when I get into doing the creation stuff, I don't look at this monitor. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I got to look at my TV screen. Yeah, when it comes to the clothing, put it all in one place. You can put, what was the out? It was like, there's more than one thing. That you have outfits and you got costumes and you get, fucking just put that in one goddamn category. And then you can filter it out from there. Short sleeve, long sleeve, and all that kind of crap. Then you can filter it out. But man, oh man, you guys they got to make this game more of a challenge than it needs to be. Jay, tell him. Yeah, Jay, you tell me. Ken, that's the best answer I think I could have heard. I probably won't use 1500, but I'd like to have the option. I want to have that disposable income for creations. See, I was deliberately ignoring you guys with the right ones because the more you guys put it in the comments, the more it'll boost the video's views. Just kidding. That would have been funny, though, actually, if I'd have thought about it. Reminds me of that old joke. How do you keep a moron in suspense? I'll tell you tomorrow. If you ever tell that to the right person, I swear they'll look at you. No, really. Tell me now. Tell me now. I'm not going to see you tomorrow. Tell me now. Makes it much harder to tell them the punchline because now it's really hitting home. Tim running the Inferno match. I was talking to Jay about that earlier, too. It's like, that's one of those matches I might do 1 or 2 times, and that's it. Same thing with, like, War Games. I like War Games. But it's not something you're going to do on a regular basis. Otherwise, it loses its aura. I actually did it probably, I think it was just twice last year. And both times it was like the XWF. We had the UWF invasion and the IWF invasion. So that made sense. You had legitimate warring factions to be used. But if you were using it like every other month, just kind of loses its thing. Same thing with the Rumble. As much as I love the Rumble, the reason I was able to use it that many times, I used it for different promotions each time, gave it a slightly different name each time. And I think you're able to switch up the rules on that match where you could have pin and submissions as well. So I think I did that for one of the federations. We are hitting the 3-hour mark. Think we have discovered the problem. So in the meantime, I had brought my computer up to Best Buy for 4 fucking days for nothing because OBS sucks. And I hate saying that because I have used them forever now. And it breaks my heart that I got to leave them behind. But I got to do what I got to do. Yeah, you can do Chamber in any of the game arenas. You cannot use it, apparently, in Universe mode or Exhibition mode in a created arena. Why? Don't know. And this is like year 4. Why the hell can you not have War Games in a real arena? Here's the thing. Until the day comes, which I can't imagine it happening because of the True Ring system, but until the day comes where it's a featured event at a WrestleMania, they're not going to probably take it out of the current situation that it's in. I don't know what would be that difficult about it. I mean, worst case scenario, the same way you have an arena built for it, build at least 2 other ones, one of which is customizable. Well, I guess they have 2 now, don't they? They have the WCW and they have the Survivor Series. But, yeah, throw a generic one in there where we're able to change the aprons and that kind of shit. Make customizations to that. I don't know why that's got to be so hard. Oh, that's actually right, Hooper, because 2K sucks. That would be the reason. You know, I was reading those patch notes, and one of the things I thought was funny as hell was we patched a problem where the chamber doors don't close all the way. So the wrestlers are just stepping outside anytime they want. It's like one of them prison movies where all of a sudden somebody flipped the switch and all the doors open and the prisoners are just roaming around free. Uh, 2K, the gift that just keeps on giving. All right. Well, you know what, guys? We're at 3 hours. I am convinced that the problem was OBS. I'm convinced that there is a solution, and I'm looking at it here with Meld Studios. I'm going to do a little more exploring on how this thing all works, and slowly but surely, I think we'll be getting back to doing some content. I've got to try recording with this as well. I also think a lot of those echo issues are going to be gone, because this thing has each track separately in front of me in a way that I think is going. I'll experiment with that a little bit more as well, recording it and seeing on playback. Didn't run any commercials because I don't have any commercials loaded up yet to see how that works. But it should, in theory, based on how this is set up, it should be fine. I think. We'll find out. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys once again, as always, for being here and keep me company. Let me see something here. Doodly-doot. There's that there. And then we go back to there. I'll bet I didn't do it, did I? Thought I did. Actually, I can do this now. Let me see. If this works, it's going to work like immediately. So I will just say right now, thanks for being here and find time every day to say the 2 magic words.
Okay! Game on! 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 Yeah, game on! Okay! The air's running like so wild. You're sitting here like a reckless child.